ask yourself for a second here. How many people do you know that have illegally downloaded music and movies off the internet? Or how often have you been on Facebook for too long and felt good about yourself after? The internet is a powerful and useful tool that we have in today's society. We can watch movies, listen to music. We can learn and study about just about anything we want. And of course, social networking. Sadly, in today's world, the internet has been taken advantage of with the illegal downloading of music and movies, with pornography, and with too much and with excessive use of the internet, it can cause social, communicative, and emotional issues in a person, adult or child. I want to persuade all of you here today to agree that the internet should be censored on a governmental level. When China got the internet, it was instantly censored. Sure, they're a communist state, and they get a little too crazy with things, and they'll censor anything that has to do with the democracy. But when they're censoring the impure and wrong things of the world, I think that they're better off. If you look at the crime rates in the United States versus China, China has much, much lower crime rates. I'm not saying that this is due to censorship of the internet, but I do think the internet has especially when it comes to pornography and things like that, I think the internet has a serious effect on crime in the world today. If you look at the rate of murders in China versus the United States, for every 100,000 people, China has 2.2 murderers. In the United States, it's 5.6. The common killer typically has an addiction to pornography. Just ask Ted Bundy. He blames all of his killings and his actions on pornography. It's easy for adults and children to view such impure abominations with the internet today. There are exceptions to certain things that can be censored, but something that isn't necessary but can be censored is how much time we spend on it. A study given by ISU OTAG says that adults and children who use excessive amounts of time on the internet develop social, communicative, and emotional issues. They have a hard time in face-to-face situations and feel very uncomfortable. And they feel more comfortable in an online situation when interacting with another person. There are times where you might need a lot of time on the internet, like doing research for a paper or for a college class, which requires a lot of research. But I think that with the effects that it can have on people with too much time on the internet, it's worth the sacrifice. In D&C 89, it talks about how we need to spend most of our time studying the scriptures. And if we're on the internet, doing our social networking for hours at a time and gaming, we're not progressing and we're not following what the counsels have been given to us by prophets. Now, one of the most common issues on the internet today is illegal downloading of music and movies. And then also copying of essays and information and using it as your own. The music industry loses hundreds of millions of dollars a year due to the illegal downloading of music and movies. When we illegally download a song, we're directly stealing from that person who wrote the song or also produced the song. A lot of people put their music online for their livelihood, to make money in their daily life. And then there's times when maybe you got to write an essay. You need a lot of information, and it has to be 7 pages long, and you procrastinated and it's due tomorrow. So what I've seen in high school is a lot of kids would go on Google, look up an essay, and they'll copy it, put their name on it. That's plagiarism, and it's wrong. I believe that the government needs to protect these people by censoring it, I guess. But I believe that people should do what they want and when they want. I don't think that the government should have serious control over the things we do in our daily lives. But when something that is commonly used in our daily life is being abused, I think that there's a time when the government can step in and help out. If you think about when we drive each day, we're allowed to drive when and where we want, but we have to do it under certain guidelines. We have to stay within the lines, and we have to go the speed limit that is posted on that street. And then when we don't follow these guidelines, enforcement is what happens when we get stopped and we get a ticket. But it's only for the safety of those around us and for ourselves. If you think about when we buy something, we can buy anything we want or whatever we want, but we have typically, in most states, you have to pay a sales tax. And that's just little things in our daily lives that the government has control over. And so why not the internet? Families are destroyed each day by pornography. People lose money every day from illegal downloading of music and movies. And people develop certain issues when they spend too much time on the internet. So why not the internet? Why shouldn't it be censored, and why shouldn't the government have its hand in protecting us from these things in the world?